Welcome to Perceptor PTXL's online training tutorials. In this tutorial, we will demonstrate how to set up your Printronix T8304 printer to optimize the print quality and throughput. Maintaining good print quality is the key to achieving high-performance OCR and good consistent code reading. Ensuring the printer is set up correctly for your label is critical if you are to achieve consistently good quality printing. The T8304 printer is an extremely reliable 4-inch 300 dpi direct thermal and thermal transfer printer. It receives information to print via USB or Ethernet from a label design software such as Bartender, CodeSoft and Nice Label, or print host in programmable language such as PGL, EGL, ZGL, or as a graphic. Be very careful in the font you select. Of course, marketing departments will want the best looking font, but remember, we need a font that optimizes the OCR. Whilst Perceptor PTXL will perform well on many fonts, at the time of creating this video, Perceptor PTXL has only been released with uppercase Arial. Perceptor PTXL does not currently support lowercase fonts, but please check our website for the latest list of fonts supported and tested with Perceptor PTXL. Also be mindful that an uppercase Arial I looks identical to a lowercase l, so try to avoid mixing upper and lower cases. When creating a text field in your label design software that you want to then OCR inspect, ensure that the characters do not touch or cross over the perimeter of the character next to it. For example, looking at an A and a Y, make sure that the bottom right of the A or the top left of the Y do not cross over each other's perimeter or bounding box. This is important because if they do touch or cross the bounding box, then the OCR will fail. Having character separation is critical, especially on smaller fonts. To set the spacing in Bartender, simply double-click on the text box and go to the Font Properties and select the Width tab. Larger fonts do not need any additional spacing, but fonts that are 4-point to 8-point in size definitely do so. So enter a value from +5% to +25% to ensure there is good separation between the characters. Please check out our website for our recommendations. In Nice Label, double-click on the text field and select Styles and Character Spacing and enter a character point value here rather than a percentage. Our recommendation is that you set your standard default values for print speed, intensity and gap sensing in your Windows print driver so that all your new label designs start with the same default values. You can, of course, change them to suit any specific label needs, but it is important that you use the same settings wherever possible to avoid running into problems. We do not recommend that you use the printer to manage serial number counters. These should be within your label design. Typically set your gap sensor to advanced gap if using gap sensing. Now let's set up the printer. A printer is like any other mechanical production equipment. They need care and attention to maximize their quality and throughput, and how you set it up has a direct impact on the way the printer performs. Firstly, load your media into the printer, ensuring that you push the guide back in place to hold the reel close to the bulkhead. Feed it under the printhead and tear bar, aligning it with a black line whilst ensuring you have enough media to reach the label rewinder. Next, set your sensor position by using your finger to slide it across to a suitable place on your label, ideally making sure it is not in line with a dense black print area on the label. Align the reflector by sliding this so it is opposite the sensor. Now load your ribbon Always make sure that your ribbon is compatible with your label material and that your ribbon width matches your label width. This is important not only to reduce waste, but also for when you come to balance the print head and platen rollers. Feel free to contact us if you are not sure about your ribbon selection, as we can recommend static-free and fine print ribbons for finer quality small print. Make sure there are no creases in your ribbon and that it is loaded tight against the bulkhead. Next is the important step of aligning the print head tabs. Set correctly, your media will stay aligned to the black line and not work its way across the tear bar during print runs. Position the nearest tab to the bulkhead of the printer on the minimum 10mm mark. Then rotate the blue notched thumb wheel so the second tab aligns with the edge of the ribbon. If your ribbon does not match the label media width, then you may need to position the tab at the edge of the label media and not the edge of the ribbon width. With it correctly balanced, the labels will not only feed through consistently and not move across the tear bar, but your print will be consistent at both extremities of the label. Set incorrectly and the print will be poor on one side. Close the print head and lift the tensioning lever to engage the print head. Set the print head pressure by setting the pressure from minimum to maximum, choosing a setting that achieves a consistent good quality print without applying too much pressure. Position the blue infeed guide close to the edge of the label media to control the lateral movement of the infeed media as it moves backwards and forwards. Use the front screen to calibrate the printer to your media. Do this every time you change your media. Once it has finished calibrating, press the online button and save to active config by pressing the large central button. Ensure your LabelMate Unicat rewinder is positioned correctly using the rewinder locating plate supplied with your system. Feed your loose labels under and over the aluminium and black bars of the rewinder and fix to a cardboard core, ensuring that the labels are tight up against the guide plate and your core is clamped tight on the rewinder by adjusting the jaws using the adjuster wheel. Set the guide plate up to the edge of the labels. Press the button on the rewinder control panel to activate the drive and take up the slack material. It will now automatically manage the forwards and backwards movement, ensuring that the media is always kept under tension. You are now ready to print consistently good quality labels. If you need additional training, then please locate and listen to our extensive range of how-to tutorials. We do reserve additional specific technical insights and information to customers only, so please send us an email to support@perceptor-ptxl.com detailing your license key along with a request for our technical insight document, How to Achieve High Performance OCR. Thank you for listening. We hope you found this tutorial useful and you enjoy using Perceptor PTXL.